Welcome to episode 12 of Scaling a Social Media Marketing Agency. My name is Hervin, and this is a video series where I take you behind the scenes of our social media marketing agency and show you what we're doing to scale it. I am documenting the journey here, and I am sharing what I am working on a day-to-day basis, the problems that I am trying to solve, the lessons that I am learning. So if you're interested in seeing how we scale our social media marketing agency, then subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's dive in. Today I worked on having calls with our current clients to let them know about our new pricing offer. This is something that I've been doing with our clients one-on-one to let them know about the changes in our pricing, about our new offer, how we are increasing the amount of support that we're providing. And then the second thing that I created is a new sales script, a new sales strategy that I am excited about. So let's chat about both. So first, the talking to our current clients. It's crazy to think that some of our clients, when I tell them about offering this new service that has been proven to get our best clients in terms of results, like the reason why they're getting good results is because of the help that we're giving them. So I talk to a client and I tell them like, hey, we have our best clients. Here's what they're doing. They're meeting with us consistently. We are managing their advertising campaigns, and they hear that and they're like, yeah, but I'm not sure about it. Even though then I go and I say like, okay, let's look at your ads to see if you're doing a good job of maintaining them. And then when I look, it's like, they're not doing a good job. And even if I show them and I say like, hey, look, meeting with our client success team to make sure that your ads are working and so that you're not wasting money on ads that aren't working, that in itself is going to help you make more money. It's going to save you more than you're going to pay for this service. They're still like, I don't know. So anyway, it could be me that I'm not selling well. Maybe I should say like, hey, do you see the value in saving this money? Yes. Okay. Do you see how saving this? So maybe I got to do a better job of breaking down the math, but a lot of people, they just struggle with getting the value. Again, maybe it's me. For sure, it's me. In the way I'm explaining it, I don't want to just give up all responsibility, but a lot of people, and this is something, a lesson for me, because I have been in that position myself where somebody presented me with an offer that made absolute sense and I rejected it, and so anyway, it is what it is. That's the nature of sales. Not everybody is going to say yes, even if it's for the best of them, for in their best interest to do so. At the end of the day, I know like what we're doing is we're trying to help people get better results, but you can't, besides like presenting the offer and making it make sense, like some people are not going to they're not going to accept it. So that's totally fine. Anyway, long story short, I had these calls. I am sometimes bewildered. I don't know what the word is, but it's just like confused as to why a client wouldn't take more help and better results. But, there are those clients. The next thing that I worked on was the sales strategy. So, really what I've been working on is the plan. So today I reorganized a lot of the plan so I've been thinking about the plan that I created yesterday that I shared in yesterday's video, and I've added to it and I've changed some things. And today, while I was watching a video from this YouTube channel called My First Million. In fact, let me pull it up here. Okay, so I was watching this video right here, how I became a billionaire from a board game. Okay, so right here, and it's the creator of this game called Exploding Kittens. It's a card game, super fun. I played it in the past. Anyway, listening to this podcast gave me a ton of ideas. So let me just give you here kind of what I was thinking. When I spoke to the Alex Hormozi team a week ago, one of the things that I asked them is like, okay, I'm going to be running ads to get people to opt in for, let's say, a case study with so I'm going to advertise a case study from one of our best clients. It's going to have a lot of tactical tips in them. It's going to be super useful. So they're going to go and opt in for that. And here's what the funnel is going to look like. So there's going to be an ad, and that ad is going to go to a landing page that is going to say like, hey, get this case study about our client who's succeeded with this, so that you can see and you can learn from it how they did it themselves and how you could do it too. That's in a nutshell what the case study is about. It's like seeing how they succeeded so that you can learn and apply that in your own business. Okay, cool. Now, when they opt in for that, we want to send them to a page that's like, hey, do you want us, talk to us, book a call with me so that we can essentially like, this is not what I'm saying in the video, but it's like, so essentially we could tell you about our program and see if it makes sense for you so that if you're interested, you can sign up, right? So it's a sales call. Now, I was trying to think about like, how do I get people to sign up for a sales call? Like, what do I need to do to get people to schedule this call? In the past, I've had success saying like, hey, do you want us to tell you how we can help you add more students to your business? Schedule a 10-minute call so that we could tell you, see if this is something you're interested in, right? Now, what the person from Alex Hormozi's team, his name is Justin. Justin told me, he's like, hey, look, you want to just do it's called a one call close, meaning you jump on the call, tell them about your program and they sign up on that call. You don't need to do multiple calls. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. So then how do I promote it? Like, in the past, I've gotten people to opt in and then later on schedule a 10-minute call. So I've had success with that. When it's longer, I haven't had success with it. So what do I do? And he said, well, then have a video here selling that call. So then like do a better job at selling why people should jump with you on that call. So I'm like, okay, cool. The point of this page then, that video, is to get people to schedule that call with me. Makes absolute sense. And then I was thinking, okay, so how do I make this call sound sexy? Like, what do I need to do? And I recently, so a few videos ago, let me pull it up here in the channel, right here in episode 8 of Scaling a Social Media Marketing Agency, I broke down one of my sales calls. And one of the things that I did is that in the sales call itself, I mapped out what the client was doing in their currently in their business. Like, how are they attracting leads? How are they promoting their classes? How are they talking to them? How are they following up? When somebody sees the ad and they click on it, where does that go? And so on. And so I was doing that because I mapped it out with them on my iPad. So you could see here that I had drawn this map out for them. And I was doing that with them on the call. And I was saying to them, like, I mean, I don't know if you could tell this in the video, but it says here, like, you need to be spending anywhere from like 15 to 20 all the way to $30 to $50 on your ads per day. And then you need to send people to a form. And I was literally drawing a game plan for them to show them how to scale their business and how to attract X amount of students. I was showing them how to reach their goal. So they found, like, I saw that the people that I was walking them through that plan, they found that extremely useful. On top of that, I also saw them, like, I also pointed out where they're currently losing money. It's like, hey, this part of the process right here, there's people falling through the cracks there, you're losing money here. And so it was easy to show them, like, here's where you're losing people, here's where you're making money, and showing them that value, or I should say showing them that plan and showing them, like, getting them to visualize what's currently going on and then getting them to visualize the new plan and showing them where they're losing money with their old way and showing them how they could reach their goals with this new way gave them a lot of confidence. Like, they felt excited about the plan. They felt like it could help. So I thought to myself, I'm like, well, they found that super valuable. Like, that was one of the best reactions that I've ever had to a sales call, which is like, they felt like the call itself, like the sales call itself, revealed to them things that they could be improving. So I thought, I'm like, wow, that was a legitimate strategy call. You know how people say it, like, okay, like, jump with me and let's do a strategy call. And all they're really saying is like, let's do a sales call so that I can pitch you. And I've always thought about, like, why do people call strategy calls strategy calls? They're literally sales calls, but I guess that's just like a name that stuck, and I get it. Some people do talk a little bit about strategy, or like say like, hey, here's what you need, here's the strategy that you need to do. So from that perspective, I guess you can call it a strategy, but like literally doing an audit for their business, how I did it, and then giving them a strategy plan to reach their goals, like that felt valuable in and of itself. So I'm like, why don't I take that approach and formalize it into an actual script where so one of the things that I need to do, that I was told by Alex Hormozi, is that I need to create a script. And I thought to myself, like, why don't I formalize this sales call that I did that worked well and use that as the format for my sales calls? So anyway, so I thought of that. and I thought like, how do I package this? I was watching that that video from the my first million that I walked you through here early, that I showed on my screen. And I got this idea of it's hard to connect without you having watched the video, by the way. So I'm just going to tell you what I got out of it, and then you can watch the videos and see if it inspires you to get similar ideas. But one of the things that in there I learned was how he marketed the business and the games that he was producing, and how he was doing that through conferences, which gave me the idea to market what we're like this call. It's like, instead of doing like a boring all strategy call. So let me make you the parallels to that video. And sorry that I am being all over the place, because I'm thinking about how to connect for you the video to what I did. So in the video, he talks about how he was marketing his games by going to conventions. And most people have kind of like a boring booth where they just like do the same old thing. They pass out cards, they show the games, and it's a demo and so on. And he's like, how do I make mine so different? And how do I stand out? And then he thought about that, and it was a very creative idea that he came up with to create a vending machine that he would promote his games to. The point of like what he didn't matter, but one of the things that he did say that mattered to me was like, he's like, when I am thinking about solving a creative problem, I'll set some constraints. So I thought to myself, like, how instead of thinking to myself, like, how do I get 10,000 people to my booth? He thought to himself, how do I get 10,000 people to my vending machine booth? Or how do I create a vending machine booth that attracts 10,000 people? Something like that. So anyway, it's just the idea of using constraints to foster creativity. So I took that idea and I thought to myself, okay, how do I, instead of doing a boring strategy call, just like the same way he said, instead of doing a boring booth, instead of doing a boring strategy call, how can I provide so much value on that strategy call that in and of itself was amazing? People would want to just join that. And how do I use that to sell people? And how do I use that to get them to see the value that we offer and to want to join, as I mentioned here, a 1 hour call? Like, how do I get people excited to join on an hour call? And what do I need to say in this video right here to get people to do that, to want to join for an hour? So I thought to myself, I'm like, instead of promoting this as kind of like, hey, join me for a strategy call where I'm going to give you a plan to grow your business. I thought to myself, I'm like, what kind of deliverables can I give? And so I thought to myself, you know how I drew that thing on my iPad? I thought, I'm like, what if I did it in a mirror board like this, that people can then, because I could easily share this. So you see here how it says board, export, save as a PDF. So I can do that instead of doing it in my notes in my iPad. I can open up a mirror board, do it with them live on the call, create a nice mirror board that's kind of like it's a template that is pre-created. So then I'm filling it out with them on the call. It looks nice. And then I give that to them as a report and as a strategy plan at the end of the call, so that they could be left with like something concrete after the call. And then I thought, I'm like, what if I then give them the recording? What if I pointed out the 3 tips that they need to do to improve their student numbers with the least amount of effort? And anyway, long story short, I thought to myself, I'm like, yeah, this could be extremely valuable if I did that, like where I legitimately gave people a strategy. People charge $2,000 plus to like sit down with you one-on-one to get the strategy. So I thought, I'm like, what if I did that for people? So that's the main idea. I know it took me a while. Forgive me if you're lost in there. And this is the first time I'm saying it, so forgive me if I confused you with all these things. But anyway, long story short is that I created this sales script. And at the beginning, I started off. So one of the things Alex Ramosi said to me is like, you should be using the closer framework, which is his framework for sales calls. But I thought, I'm like, why don't I adjust it to include this strategy part? Anyway, so this is what I came up with. So here's the sales script. So I'm going to clarify their goals, why they're there, why do they want to achieve their goals, like why is that important, what happens if they don't achieve their goals. So that's the first thing. Then from there, clarify what they've tried. So this is from Alex Ramosi. The clarification is also from Alex Ramosi. But then this is the part that I added. I'm going to map out their situation inside a mirror board, like what they're currently doing. Then I'm going to show them the problems, the money that they're losing. And then I am going to create for them a new plan. And then I am going to address any objections they have about the plan. Then I'm going to let them know, like, hey, you're going to have this plan. Like, here's the plan with like the 3 lowest hanging fruit. Then from there, I'm going to say, like, hey, would you be like, if we could show you how to implement this plan and make sense, like, would you be opposed to me telling you about how this works if you wanted to work with us? And if they say no, I mean, tell me, then I'm going to present to them the offer, show them how our offer helps them save money, earn money, and then finish with a close of like, how do we, like, to get them to move forward to the next steps. So this is the script that I am creating to walk them through a strategy call, a legitimate strategy call, where by the end they end up with something tangible. So all of these things are things that I worked on today. I worked on more, which I'll talk more about tomorrow. So like, what is that video, I mentioned earlier over here? So once people opt in for the case study, they're going to land over here and see a video. What does this video need to say to get people to book? Like, what is the script for that video? And then once people book, then there's going to be another video that says, hey, you're going to be booked you're going to attend this strategy call. Like, what does that video need to say? What does it need to do? And so I've been thinking about that, but I'll speak more about that tomorrow because I don't, I haven't fully fleshed it out. I have some ideas that I'm writing down, but I'll talk more about tomorrow once I have it further built out. So anyway, that is what I worked on today. I talked to our current clients. I also worked on our new sales strategy. I worked on the plan. If you are interested in seeing what else we're doing to scale our marketing agency, our social media marketing agency, and you're interested in getting this report, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.